The Sony LinkBuds are here, featuring a new open ear design to keep you fully connected to your surroundings while enjoying your entertainment. But are they the best open style earbuds available? And can they beat the Galaxy Buds Live and the Apple AirPods 3? In this video, I'll be answering those questions along with giving you my full review. Be sure to stick around to the end so you can hear the microphone quality samples for yourself. But first, I went ahead and bought all three of these earbuds in this video with my own money for testing and review purposes. And I'm telling you this because I believe in honesty and transparency with you as the viewer. Please make sure you watch multiple reviews on any product before finalizing your purchasing decisions. So now, let's get into it. So first up, let me give you some basic specs on the Sony LinkBuds. So first up, they're going to have two colors available. You're going to have them in gray or white. I personally went ahead and grabbed the gray version of the Sony LinkBuds. Let me go ahead and pop them open here for you so you can see. Here is the gray version. Some people are out there saying black. No, they're not black. They're gray. They kind of have a gray and sort of like this white spackle kind of a paint job on them. Kind of interesting. Sony always kind of comes weird with these colors, but it is what it is. So there are two colors available here with the Sony LinkBuds. As far as Bluetooth connection, they are featuring Bluetooth 5.2 and they use AAC and SBC as their connection codecs. So they're fully compatible with both iOS and Android devices. Now, we don't have any sort of high-res codecs here like aptX or LDAC or LHDC, which doesn't really bother me because, to be honest, it would be sort of wasted on a open design earbud such as this. Now, when it comes to Bluetooth range on the Sony LinkBuds, you're going to get right around 32 feet worth of range. And obviously that's going to vary depending on how many obstructions or walls you put in between yourself and the earbuds themselves. So, yeah, just kind of throwing that out there. Now, secondarily, the Sony LinkBuds are also featuring single usage mode. And this is where you can use each earbud individually while the other one is charging in its case. And it works on both left and right side, fully tested it, and it completely works. Now, this is not to be mistaken with multi-point connectivity. These do not support multi-point connections. So that was something that I was hoping we would have seen with these Sony LinkBuds. It would have been kind of cool, especially if they're meant for communication. It would have been nice to see these be able to connect to your phone and like your laptop at the same time. I thought that would have been kind of nice, but unfortunately, Sony just didn't do that with these earbuds at all. Now moving over to video lag or latency. For watching videos, whether it's Netflix or YouTube or Hulu, doesn't really matter. There's little to no latency to be had with the Sony LinkBuds. But if we're talking about like mobile gaming or, sort of like if you're going to be playing Fortnite or Call of Duty, anything like that, you're definitely going to be experiencing some latency. So if you need a gaming earbud, then you're probably going to want to look elsewhere. And if you are looking for a gaming earbud, please feel free to ask in the comment section right down below. Now, moving over to battery life, they were claiming right around 5 hours with about, sorry, let me redo that. Sony was claiming 5 hours on a single charge with an additional 12 hours in the case. So they're giving you 2 additional recharges with the case. So in my own actual testing, I managed to get a little bit over 4 hours on a single charge with these earbuds. Now, as far as recharging the earbuds themselves, all you got to do is throw these back into the case. Sorry. And as far as recharging these earbuds themselves, they do feature fast charging. So you can drop them into the case, and 10 minutes worth of dropping them into the case will equal 90 minutes worth of playback time. So overall, pretty good. And then when it comes to actually charging the case, they are USB Type-C. Unfortunately, there is no wireless charging with the Sony LinkBuds, which actually kind of caught me by surprise. So, but it is what it is. Now, moving over to the comfort, as far as comfort is concerned, these are tiny earbuds. Like, let me go ahead and pull one out for you so you can sort of see it for yourself. These are very small. So, I mean, just tiny little guys. So very comfortable in my personal opinion. So no issues there. And there's excellent grip thanks, to this little wing tip right here and basically the way that they're ergonomically designed. And they do include a bunch of different little wing tips inside the box. So you can really size them up to your own personal fit. I really do recommend that you take the time to go ahead and size them up for yourself because that's going to make all the difference when it comes to actual grip and comfort. Now, as far as like workouts, jogging, things of that nature, these are going to be excellent for that. And they also do carry an IPX4 rating. But I also want to caution you that you definitely don't want to submerge the Sony LinkBuds under water or anything like that. They're good for some like sweat, maybe a little bit of light rain, but definitely not, swimming or fully submerged, nothing like that. So definitely don't take it that far. Now, when it comes to sleeping, because people do sleep with earbuds on, side sleep and back sleep are both completely doable with the Sony LinkBuds, but user experience will vary because everybody's ears and comfort levels are different. So take that with a grain of salt. You're going to have to sort of try that for yourself and see if that actually works for you. Now, when it comes to controls with the Sony LinkBuds, they are featuring tap controls. So you do get tap controls on these. You have a double tap and a triple tap, and those are programmable via the Sony app. So you do have a lot of different options as far as what you can do. You have your playback control, you have your smart assistant, you have volume control. So you have all of those different options, but it's a standard layout that you get with Sony. So it's either like volume on one side, playback on the other. So there is some limitations there, but at least you do have the ability to change that stuff around. Now, the other thing that they did feature was what they call the wide area tap. So in addition to being able to tap the earbuds themselves, the wide area actually detects taps on the side of your head. So you can tap on your temple, double tap, triple tap, and it'll actually register that and control the functions. So say like you have these on under a hat or like a beanie or something along those lines, then you'll be able to control the earbuds with that wide area tap. It actually does work surprisingly well once you get accustomed to actually tapping on your face. So that was something that kind of threw me off a little bit, but I did get accustomed to it after a little bit. Now, there's also ear detection with the Sony LinkBuds, so they will automatically play and pause when you take them, when you put them in your ears or when you pull them out. Now, there is a toggle in the app where you can turn this off if that's something that annoys you, but you do have that option here. All right, so now we're going to move over to the Sony app. So Sony has an app, obviously, we've seen it many, many times with, Sony's headphones, with Sony's earbuds, and that app is called the Sony Headphones or Sony Headphones Connect. So let's go in here. Whoop, wrong one. Let's go in there, and it's a little yellow one right here. Sony Headphones Connect. So you see them; it'll be pairing up right here, and there we go. We'll go and close that. So let's reduce that brightness just a tad. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right. So as you can see right here, LinkBuds are paired. You can see your battery life right up front, battery life of the case as well. And then you have your volume control plus some, actual playback controls. And you get into the sound. So in here, this is where you can kind of go in and mess around with stuff. So you have speak to chat. And this is basically where the earbuds will detect your voice and stop playback so that you can have conversations and things of that nature. It works kind of well, but if you're one of those people that likes to sing along to your music, then you probably want to go ahead and leave that turned off. Below this, you also have your EQ. And inside the EQ, you can go ahead and mess with stuff if you really wanted to. If you want to go in and actually make those adjustments, you can. A little bit more about the EQ later, but I don't really see much of use for it in this particular instance. You have the 360 reality audio setup here where you can set up the 360 audio. It's kind of like spatial audio on Apple, not quite the same, but something similar. And we also have your priority on sound quality or stable connection. So you have those options in there as well, plus DS EE, which is the audio upscaling available in there as well. Then you also have the adaptive volume control. So that's where the volume will adjust itself based on ambient noise. It works kind of well, but I'll go into that a little bit more later. Then you have your programmable controls, wide area tap toggle, automatic power off. So there is a ton of options in here, obviously, but that's basically what we expect when it comes to Sony. Paying this price, you're definitely going to be getting that kind of app support that you would expect out of a set of earbuds coming in for, $179.99. So something to keep in mind. All right, so moving on. So now let's get into the performance. Now, obviously, there's no active noise cancellation. There isn't like an ambient sound mode because these are open earbuds. So we're just going to start in with essentially the ambient sound, kind of, because they're open. So obviously they're open. They have a huge hole right in the middle of them, as you can see right here. They do have a hole right in the center of the earbud. Let me see if I can get it to focus here. So that's going to let all your ambient sound in. So no issues there. You can hear everything that's going on around you. So there's no need for an ambient mode. So just be aware, but that's how it works. Sort of a physical ambient mode, so to speak. But let's move over to volume. So first up, let's talk about the volume of the Sony LinkBuds. Now, in my actual testing here with a decibel meter, I was only able to get 98.1 decibels peak volume with the Sony LinkBuds. So this is surprisingly quiet for a set of earbuds. And I tried this out on multiple devices, both on iOS and on my Android devices, to see if there was a difference there. There was no difference in volume whatsoever. I tried the different codecs as well, tried different songs, tried different quality, no difference. So that was the best volume that I was able to pull out of the Sony LinkBuds. Now, also, as I said before, the adaptive volume is also available, and that's where it'll actually adjust itself based on your ambient sounds. But I felt that it didn't work that well because these earbuds simply couldn't get loud enough for certain situations. So it is what it is. Now, sadly, the LinkBuds in my testing here experienced the same problem that I experienced with the Sony WF-1000XM4. And that's where when you're trying to raise the volume past 50 or 60%, it causes this weird EQ shift, and it only gets worse as the volume goes up. It basically forces you to listen at a lower volume in order to maintain audio quality. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to stay below 50% for them to have that balanced, like high quality sound that they're claiming. Because when you start going above that, it like starts scooping out the mid range, and it just sounds all kinds of weird. So this is the same thing that I experienced with the XM4. I brought that up in my review of the XM4. It's happening here once again with the Sony LinkBuds, which to me is just kind of disappointing, if I'm being completely honest with you here. So now let's move over to the sound quality of the Sony LinkBuds. Now, just to be clear, just like I told my friend LaShawn, these are not for bass heads. If you're part of the bass head crew, these are not for you. It just is what it is, man. They are aiming for a more balanced sound, closer to neutral, if anything. They are a mid-range and treble-focused earbud that's made for podcasts and audiobooks or anything else where vocals or human voices are emphasized. Now, some music can sound okay with these, but anything that has a heavy bass line is going to sound anemic at best, or totally gutless at worst. On the plus side, the open design of the earbuds does gives you a wider sound stage, at least perceptibly, since they never feel closed in. So that's something to keep in mind, especially if you're somebody who's after a more neutral and a wider type of sound. So just something to keep in mind. So basically, when it comes to genres, so instead of doing my usual bass, mids, and treble, I'm just going to do this by genres this time, because there really isn't much bass to speak of. It's like mid bass and up, but the actual bass and sub bass and rumble, it's a non-existent. That's the best way I could say it. It's just non-existent. So as far as genres, the ones that sound okay with these would be reggae, music ballads, oldies, classical music, podcasts, and audiobooks. The ones that don't sound good with this are hip hop, funk and soul, hard rock, R&B, or basically anything else with heavy beats or strong drums. These just ain't it, Chief. These are just not going to do it for you. I'm just being 100% honest with you here. Now, when it comes to EQ, as I had mentioned before, the presets for the Sony LinkBuds, they can make the mids and the treble brighter or darker if you wish. For me, the EQ didn't do much to improve the overall sound, to like make it more suited to my own personal taste. Like, I want the brightness in the sound, but I also want some low end. I want to feel that music. And even with EQ, I couldn't bring it out in them, which was kind of sad. But I mean, there's really not much I can do here. But on the other hand, if balanced and neutral is what you're after, then these might work out nicely for you. Just something to keep in mind. Now, if I'm going to give Sony any sort of constructive criticism about the Sony LinkBuds, first, it's going to be the lack of multi-point. For a product like this, that could be an awesome product for somebody in the office, or somebody that has to maintain situational awareness while they're working. This could be an exceptional product. So multi-point would be an amazing thing to have on these earbuds. This is one of those things where it's like they really should have done it. I mean, XM4, they should have done it, but here as well. Then secondarily, the fact that they don't have wireless charging coming in at this price, I mean, it's almost expected, especially when most of your competition on the market between $150 to $250 have wireless charging on board as a standard feature. something to keep in mind. And then third, this volume slash EQ issue that I keep experiencing with the XM4 and with the LinkBuds. This is something that I definitely want to make sure you guys are aware of, and hopefully they'll fix it soon. Now, I know not everybody has experienced this, but there have been enough people leaving comments in my XM4 review that have told me that they have felt the same thing. So just something to keep in mind. Now, people were asking about whether or not, Sony LinkBuds versus the, Sony WF-1000 XM4. It's not even close, man. It's not even close, but it's also because they're two completely different products, where the XM4s are a standard earbud with noise cancellation and, ambient sound, and, they have exceptional sound quality as well. So, but comparing like XM4 to the LinkBuds, I mean, the XM4s blow these out of the water. Like, the LinkBuds were never meant to compete with the XM4, not in price point and not in design. So for anybody who's wondering about LinkBuds versus XM4, it's not a contest. It really is not a contest. So that's something that I wanted to make completely clear to anybody who has that question. If you're thinking about XM4 or LinkBuds, just get the XM4. I mean, just completely honest. Oh, sorry. Let me put it like this. The only thing that the LinkBuds win versus the XM4 is on comfort. So let's just be fair. That's the only thing that they win against them. So just to keep that in mind. Maybe the microphone quality, but more on that in just a little bit. Now, moving over to putting these up against, let's get that out of the way. We're going to be putting them up against the AirPods 3 and the Galaxy Buds Live. The beans, so to speak. So let's give them the beans, right? So we've got that going on. Now, all of three of these are open design earbuds. So that's what's going on here. So open design. But if there are any other earbuds that you are curious about comparing the Sony LinkBuds to, make sure you let me know down in the comment section. And this way I can let you know kind of what that comparison would look like. So first up, we're going to do this differently than my normal comparisons because open earbuds. So we can't kind of do the normal stuff. So first up, we're going to start with the comfort and the grip. So in first place, we've got the Sony LinkBuds. In second place, we've got the Galaxy Buds Live. And in third place, we've got the Apple AirPods 3. Now, just to be clear, all three of these are extremely comfortable earbuds. Like all three, there's no issues with that whatsoever. But for a combination of grip and comfort together, the Sony LinkBuds take the easy win here. Less chance of these falling out of my ears than with the other two options. So Sony gets a win here. Now, moving over to the ambient sound, which isn't like an ambient mode, but basically I was just judging it on how much of the outside I could hear while wearing these earbuds. In first place, we've got the Sony LinkBuds. In second place, we've got the Apple AirPods 3. And in third place, we've got the Galaxy Buds Live. Now, the Sony LinkBuds, they have more natural feel to the ambient sound, but that's just because they're letting more of the environment in my personal opinion. Now, the AirPods 3 here, they are also very good at this and come in a very, very close second. The Galaxy Buds Live block out a bit more sound just by the way that they fit into your ear. So they come in third place, but that's also taking into account the fact that the Galaxy Buds Live, they also have a mode where they can amplify external noises, but then it just kind of sounds a little wonky. So that's just sort of how that all broke down. Now, let's move over into volume. Now, for volume, and this is all done with my own measurements, the Apple AirPods 3 came in at 112.1 decibels peak. The Galaxy Buds Live came in at 110.5 decibels peak. And the Sony LinkBuds in third place, in a distant third, came in with 98.1 decibels peak. So the race here was really between the AirPods 3 and the Sony Galaxy Buds Live. Yeah, see that? So just for sheer volume, unfortunately, the Sony LinkBuds, they come in at a distant third due to a combination of both their low volume, which is just inherent to the earbuds, and then also that weird EQ issue I described earlier in this review. So something to keep in mind. If you need higher volume, these two are going to bring it. And then you don't get any weird EQ issue as you turn them all the way up. So just something to, kind of keep in mind there. And now, last but not least, let's get into sound quality. So in first place, we're going to go with the Apple AirPods 3. In second place, we're going with the Galaxy Buds Live. And in third place, we're going with the Sony LinkBuds. Now, for overall sound quality, the Apple AirPods are going to give you the best combination of solid, strong bass response with a wide soundstage and excellent vocal clarity. Now, the Galaxy Buds Live are not quite as clear and crisp, but they provide a overall warmer sound with stronger mid bass presence. So overall, a very, very good sound. And actually, I was kind of surprised when I listened to them again after all these firmware updates. They actually sounded better than I remembered. Now, Sony took a different approach with more focus on clarity and balance versus low end, and basically sacrifice the low end to bring you the other frequencies. It makes the LinkBuds better for podcasts and audiobooks than they are for listening to your favorite songs. That's just the bottom line there. So now, real quick, before we move on to the next, let's go ahead and drop these microphone samples. This way you can hear all three of these before you kind of move forward. Just going to compare them up against each other. And then after that, we'll get into my opinion on whether or not they're worth it. All right, so here we have the microphone quality test for the Sony LinkBuds. So testing, 1, 2, 3. Obviously, I'm indoors in a semi-quiet room. So testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so here we have the microphone test for the Samsung Galaxy Buds Live. So testing, 1, 2, 3. Obviously, I'm indoors once again in a semi-quiet room. So testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so here we have the microphone test for the Apple AirPods 3, third generation. So testing, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, once again, I'm indoors in a semi-quiet room. So testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the Sony LinkBuds in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a crowded bar, maybe a busy restaurant, something along those lines. So testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the Samsung Galaxy Buds Live in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a busy bar, a crowded restaurant, or something along those lines. So testing, 1, 2, 3. And here we have the Apple AirPods 3 in a simulated crowd noise environment. So something like a crowded bar, maybe a busy restaurant, something along those lines. So testing, 1, 2, 3. As always, you're going to have to be the judge of the microphone quality down in the comment section. So as you can hear for yourself, all three of these earbuds offer excellent background noise suppression. Now, Sony did an exceptional job with that. You can actually hear it as it starts in and actually suppresses the crowd noise right before I start talking. So that was pretty good. Go back and hear that if you want to hear that again. Now, overall, I feel that the Apple AirPods 3 have the more natural sound out of the three options here. It still picks up some of the bass tones of my voice and overall just sounds the most clear in my personal opinion. But all three of these performed exceptionally well, especially the Samsung Galaxy Buds Live, which are the oldest earbuds out of the three options here. Now, just to give you kind of my opinion here about the Sony LinkBuds, while I'm truly excited for a new concept in true wireless earbuds, there are still a lot of drawbacks with a product like this. For a regular earbud and headphone enthusiast, these are probably not going to be a good choice. But if you are living an active lifestyle, working out, jogging, things of that nature, then these are an excellent option for you, especially if maintaining ambient awareness is crucial to your daily life. Unfortunately, the high price puts them in direct competition with some of the best earbuds on the market. In my opinion, you're better off going with either Samsung or Apple out of these three. At the end of the day, earbuds are all about sound quality, and these simply didn't do it for me. And I don't feel that $179 asking price is justified in this case. Now, if you agree or disagree, feel free to let me know down in the comment section. But as always, let's be adults about it and, keep things civil. So with that said, my name is Jefe and I'm out this bitch. Peace.